All right, take note. So this is how when you aren't sure about things. So if you aren't 100% sure about things, you have a you have a problem, then you have like the ability to like kind of diagnose and say like since this thing is this, then you can say, "Oh yeah, that thing is probably this." Or combining these two things would probably result in this. So if someone thought that like a specific thing was so certain, like this was all brought up because I was so I spent an entire day trying to figure out why this light strip wouldn't turn on. I brought the Hyperion stuff. I followed watched the videos, followed the guides. Like I had it so close. I did everything right up to that point. But the configuration of the software was just kept saying like not like this light strip type is not found. This light strip type is not found. I do Googling and try to have the Raspberry Pi detect it and going through the code and trying to uncheck things that were in the forms and editing the configuration files and over just trying to figure out why this error keeps popping up. Like there was also some other errors, but I mean I solved those because the guide made sense. But then I go and keep seeing the same. You don't have the WSB 12 strip. It's like not detected, not detected. And I even like had ChatGPT download or create a Python script. I had to go through and install Python, run the script, and have it like test to see if like it can actually like use the light strip. And what? It did. It did use it. That was the thing. Like everything seemed like it was working. It was there. It's like you connect. See it there. See it? But then kept saying no. So what am I gonna do at that point, right? I tried all the things, so I ultimately gave up on it because I could not figure out for the life of me this one thing, this one problem I'm having. Because I'm so certain that there's not a solution to it besides, oh yeah, the software is probably messed up or like they haven't updated it because it's like an open source thing and it's like I saw some other people having issues with it, not getting it solved, so like half solved. So it's like it's reasonable to say that, hey, this is an issue that just can't be fixed. So give up on it. Then, today I ran into the same kind of issue. The light strips weren't working. They weren't turning on in the WLED controller. Like, they just didn't work. So I go into the settings, like, all right, why is this working? Like, I had the voltage right, I have the lights there, then I followed this guide on the internet that said, like, you can just go through these settings, and here it is. But then, there's that strip model again. I was like, I'll just give the other ones a shot since they're so easy to change to. And I tried this SK one, and lo and behold, she turns on. She turns on. And that sparked the idea that maybe I didn't end up trying the different light strip type. I might have tried it, but I don't remember all my troubleshooting that day. And if I ran into the same issue again and I was so certain I was still using that light strip model, like I kept seeing like all the WS12B ecos like that people are using for the light strips. I was so certain that even like the RGBW ones or WRGB ones used the same model, but like a different like letter. But no. They do not. The SK ones are for the white one, or white included RGB strips. And now I know for certain, and I'm pretty sure that was a flaw in my logic. And that is kind of my rant on just being, if you're so certain about something and then you discover that you take a step back and discover like, oh, I guess I wasn't so certain, then it solves problems. Solve my problem. That's kind of what I want to do with the dating app. It's all related to this dating app. Like, how do I want people to interact on this dating app? And I'd like to give everyone the opportunity to make mistakes and like find these different data points where they could be wrong. It's like I firmly believe like I could find someone based on this thing. Then you try it, then you're like, oh, that didn't quite work. You can block that, and then you're like, I wonder, like, after that experience, I'm kind of wondering about my other non-negotiable. Like, can I lean that up a little bit, or like allow people to make these adjustments in their own logic? Like, we've seen it time and time again. Like, nobody quite knows their type. Like, what kind of person would I like? I don't know, there's too much. It's hard to decide. Like, there's a lot of good in a lot of people. So there's like 70,000 different factors you could go into, like, what is my type? Because there's a lot of range in terms of like what you'd like. You just have to narrow down those ranges. The things that matter to you. And giving people the tools and insight to see that, and discovering like these different areas that may or may not help them in discovering who they are looking for. Like, is it based on a personality thing? Is it based on a hobby thing? Is it based on is it different for everyone? What kind of factors do people use while trying to discover who they're looking for? What are these factors? Gathering my thoughts. Oh, yeah. So that's, I'm trying to figure out what else to say. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody learns. Everybody learns from experience. Experience is the best teacher. All of these things matter. All things could matter. What does matter? What matters to you? Everyone's different. So yeah, that firm set on reality of what you think it is, and then like taking evidence outside the initial factor, like for example, I'm really speaking in this as like as far out as I can get. So you take that concept and bring it somewhere else in a new environment, and see if the environment challenges that concept. And if it does, then figure out why that challenges. It's like, is this actually a thing? Because if it's challenging, then it's like you can either more firmly set it or just lean into it more or less, depending on like what feels right. I think it's like a lot of how we interact is based on feeling. What makes us feel good? Being in love makes us feel good. Feeling strong makes us feel good. Powerful makes us feel good. Safe makes us feel good. Like, we always lean toward what makes us most comfortable. Like, hell, like throughout the entire time, human species, we've always strove to like make ourselves comfortable or other people around us comfortable. Like your family, you try to make your family comfortable. You try to make yourself comfortable. You get a better bed, better clothes, better home, better entertainment, better food. Anything to make us more comfortable. Like, we enjoy these good food. Like, we enjoy a lot of things, and just having that make us feel good is what we strive for. It's like, make our lives as good as possible. Our standard of good has definitely risen a ton. We don't have to worry about a lot of things right now, Except like, we worry about different things. The things that we worry about are less or are more safe than the things that previous us would have to worry about. So like, disease was more a problem. Food was more a problem. Water was more a problem. Winter was more a problem. So us just being able to like have water on tap anywhere we go, getting free water at any restaurant. It's like we have a grocery store full of choices of food. We can, like, even people in like Texas can have fish, like inside a restaurant, like miles away from the ocean, and still like enjoy fish anywhere they want. But they probably prefer cow meat. Right? I don't know. Is that a stereotype? Anyway, just being able to appreciate what we have in this, our standard of, also I was thinking about this in a dating concept too. So when you're dating, like you want to impress someone, right? Like how do you impress someone nowadays? Like back then it was so much easier because a lot of things had a lot more value because they weren't available to everyone. They're a exotic treat. Like it costs a bit, but I think it's worth it for you to try this because it's so good. Like, can you really say, like, can you really think of it like a treat that's really so sweet to just like, it's something so small, like it's a nice little bite or just a package, and then have it have a really special meaning since it's like a really expensive thing. Like the standard between like good and then premium has gotten so little now with a lot of things. I mean, if you wanted to buy, like, chocolate was a huge thing before. Like, no one could get chocolates. It's a exotic pleasure, or it's just something no one can really get without paying like a nice price tag for it. Like a reasonable price tag, but enough. And chocolate was so delicious. It's so good. Like, why do we think that chocolate's a very popular flavor right now? Because it's fucking awesome. That's why. Chocolate milk's awesome. Chocolate ice cream's awesome. Chocolate peanut butter. We have all these good things. So now we have this state of, well, the standard between like a good chocolate and like premium chocolate is so minute. It's like, it's really based on flavor. You can't say that like this chocolate's better than this other chocolate. There's some chocolates like that, but it's the difference between like good and supreme is so much harder to tell, like, because we have so many things on the good spectrum, we never really have anything in the medium or bad, usually. But I'm guessing that's for a lot of us, because a lot of things already have sugar in it, but just having this like small gap of good and supreme is so much different than what it was before. So when you like buy this like rare chocolate for this girl that you really like, you're like, she's actually impressed because it's something like, it is a super awesome treat. Like no one can say no to this chocolate because it's so good. Why was there a history of like Valentine's Day people got chocolate? Is that the reason? Because it was so expensive to get chocolate? I bet. I didn't really any history, but I bet you that was the reason. That's my theory. A dating theory. That'd be a good episode. But we aren't here for history. We're here for action. But action involves history. Maybe that's just good research to have. That's probably good research to have. Anyway, chocolates. Like a nice gift. Like, what can we really give someone that's a nice gift? At this point, it's so open. Nothing's like super desired either. Like we have everything, and the most you can show is effort. Sometimes. That's the most you can really do. Like people's expectations are so high right now. Like our level of good is always so fucking high that like we want to maintain that good as long as we can. But then having someone into your life that could pose a risk to that good is also like terrifying. It's like as soon as you don't agree on like some things, it's like oh man, this is oh they're gonna mess with my life. No good, no good. Abort, abort. I don't like them. Then it's like they never get the chance to learn from that relationship and change like based on what the relationship needs or like what who they truly are or anything. I don't know. I think we that could be one scenario. I don't know at all. But point is, like I think expectations are still really high for a lot of things. Like our standard of life is could vary a little bit between like person to person. Like some people might expect like a little bit nicer place or a little bit nicer like stuff. I don't know, but or a nicer job or nicer pay or like the ability to do X Y Z. Like people like to travel a lot. People I don't know what people spend money on anymore. Do they want clothes now? What's the kind of general consensus? I think it's like really on like phones because everyone's stuck to their phone. It's with us everywhere. Also, there's a lot of things we get with technology. Again, I talked about this before, but briefly, I discussed on the ability to like instantly call people at a whim. Like you don't have to trap, like before you only could talk to people in person, but now they invented the phone, then you could talk to people longer distance, and now you have chat rooms, and now you have video calls and all texting and everything. It just evolves to like quicker and quicker access to people. If you want to talk to someone, you can just go on your phone and call them, then you have a direct line to them to talk to them. Or just like, I don't know, it's so direct now that you're always connected no matter where you are. Like sometimes you really need that like personal connection to be able to like truly like be with the person. It's a feeling. Like when you see the person physically there, it's so much different than online. You get to see the person's face, you get to see how they are that day, you could see like that's how they show up. And then you like them even more. So then trying to find someone just based on like this disconnect, like not in person, like you can't really tell. You can't make a really good high commitment until like, you meet them in person. But then like most people you meet in person aren't who you're expecting because you're already expecting this high standard of a person. It's like, who is this person? You don't know who this person is. Then if something doesn't match, then it's like it's already like I already have other options I can go to. I'll just try again, I guess. And it's like it beats you over and over. It's like, should I go into it? I guess I should go into this too. Just kind of get it all out there. Just kind of like repeating it. Like I feel like this is what's up. So guys have to have a stack of cards. Guys have a huge stack of cards. So do girls, but guys, I'm talking about like right now, guys, stack of cards, looking at the profile, like, okay, how do I tell if this person is truly for me? How do I tell from this stack of cards who's truly for me? Like, will I be able to know based on this card? So you look at the card and it's like, Snapchat, whatever. All right, so that's a bot account. Zoop. All right, now we're on to the real stuff. Like, you get a little bit of prompt of like their height sometimes and religion, smoking, like all the vices, but sometimes they're not displayed, so you can't really check via vices. So then you're presented with like 5 different interests that they have. I'm presuming top 5 interests, but you're not really sure on which ones that they really spend a lot of time on, or like do during the summer, or are important to them, or do you just assume all the things are important to them, but then they have like, when they have like just self-meditation, is like, are they trying to sell me like meditation is really important to them and they spend like 2 hours a day on it? Or are they just like, that's a hobby they created? How important is meditation to this person? How important is rock to this person? Whatever you want. Like, you get 5 interests. Cool. Doesn't answer a whole lot. It's like, it gives me like some kind of direction. I suppose if like someone lists like, I like reading, nature, or tea, and self-meditation, then I'm like, with all those descriptions and like listing all the interests in like that same type of category, then we can go like, all right, she's probably pretty chill. She's probably chill as fuck. Then you see vegetarian, then I'm like, oh yeah, dang it. Yeah, I mean, you really can't make any assumptions with vegetarian. There's really, like, you can't tell a person just by vegetarian. It's so hard. So, but this is what all we get to work with. We try to lean on stereotypes or just like what your imagination of a person is, but then it comes out to be wrong. Like all the time, because you can't predict people now. There's no way to predict people. Humans love to predict the future and being able to calculate like chances of things happening. We love to predict future. Absolutely love it. We have time machine. We dream about time machines. We dream about like we do stocks. We do luck. Luck is a thing, and like we love the chance. We love statistics. We love numbers. We love to have perspective on things. And that's something I want to provide, perspective. How are we doing? What are we doing? What are the trends? What are the questions we're trying to answer? How can we use this data to kind of pull out trends? This is dating science. It's not, I mean, it still involves numbers and statistics, but we have to ask the right questions with the data we have, with trying to figure out what will work. Like what data will lead us to the point to ask us where we ask the right question. Is a question, what are we looking for? Is a question about what personality we're looking for? Is a question about connecting on different hobbies? What are we looking for in a relationship? How do we know if it's a relationship for us? How do we know that? That's a big question. I'm trying to find that answer. I want us to ask the question that leads us to this answer. And I think data is the key. Trying to figure out trends, trying to figure out what's going on, trying to just do different things to see if it works. Look at things that don't work. I think we're already experiencing this trend of nothing's working right now. We don't know why. We don't know why. Except maybe the paywall thing. Okay, I had a list of 5 different things that I think it's worth getting into. So it was pay to win. What are the problems? All right. If I don't know them, then I think I really need to refresh myself on them. Because AJ already figured it out. AJ spent an entire month figuring that question out. Like, what's the problem in the community right now? Benjamin, dating app. Closed notebooks. Why is that closed? Open that bad boy up. Yeah. All right, we got dating app. We got who am I. We got, oh gosh, organization. It's not organization. Is it? It could be. The why. Is it in the why? Oh god. Okay, why? All right, there we go. All right, so why? Issues. Pay to win. All apps are pay to win, almost. All apps make you pay for some feature that should already be basic. They make you pay for undos. They make you pay for filters. They make you pay for super likes. They make you pay for like being spotlighted. They make you pay to do all these. They make you pay to see who likes you. Holy crap, guys! What are we doing? Some apps don't do that, but also, what kind of dysfunctional piece of shit software are you designing? It's always designed around pay to win. Then you charge ridiculous amounts for a system that doesn't even work. What the fuck, guys? Cut that shit out. Yesterday. 12 years ago. Cut that shit out like from your brain when it first got invented. That's no good. That hinders the entire fucking app. The entire fucking purpose of trying to create these connections. I understand that you need to make money, but holy shit. Like, what's your goal here? It's not to create connections. It's completely the opposite of creating connections. You want to do enough in your power to make enough money to sustain yourself, but not fucking exploit the population. It's exploitative. Make it a resource that's use this like the funding to like research a better option. Try something else that can also like be within the budget range. It's okay to redevelop things. It doesn't work. Redevelop it. Try to make it a good resource for everyone to use. But if you need money, just tuck it in there behind the core features, not on to block the core features. Like someone should be able to go on and use the app. At the very least, we want to provide a free resource here to the public to actually find dates. And it's only working for like the top 2% of the population right now. It's not a good system. Everyone's feeling the impact of it. No one feels safe using that system. You're not even working on the system. I've not seen a single dating app change much from the initial design. I mean, OkCupid expanded into like the swiping thing, but they still had the core of their app of the questions. And that was a fantastic feature. I don't know why OkCupid wasn't better. Like, I think OkCupid was the closest there was to a dating app. Closest thing. But we never saw the numbers that came out of that. We never saw, we never had the options to really dig down into bring this information all together and tweak the information depending on what we're looking for. You just had these different matches, and then afterwards you never really have the ability to tweak it from that experience. It never really offered you the option to really filter down to what you're looking for. If someone was it never asked the right questions. They were so random 2001 online quiz questions. I don't know. It was there was one for when you wanted to go to bed, it was hell no or hell yes, or I don't know. It just didn't seem like they were just random questions. They didn't have any thought. Maybe some of them had thought behind it, but it didn't feel overall it had a lot of thought to it. I think the system was great. Just the execution was a little bit flawed. But yes, everyone makes you pay for shit. You're blocking core shit behind these paywalls. Your goal should be able to provide this free resource, or at least provide at the very least to your paying customers, provide an excellent experience. I think you're they have to pay to do a super swipe so the other person can see you without having to pay themselves to find who likes them. That should already be a built-in feature of if you like someone, at least they paid to try to find me faster, but not in a creepy way of I'm gonna send you a rose and I think that's like too much on like a first thing. Like you're already spending like $3 to talk to me. Okay. It's kind of weird. I don't kind of like that. I don't like that concept. I don't like the concept of paying money to talk to someone. I'm okay with like having a service that included that function, but not like as an extra feature, but not directly, but not so direct. It's so weird. I'd feel weird receiving a rose. I was like, who's this person? Then it's like if it turns out like you didn't really like them, then it gets kind of more awkward because they like spent this money on you, and it's like, oh, I gotta like you feel bad, like you gotta talk to them, but it's also like, ugh. I don't think I'll like them, but okay. I don't know. It's weird. I just feel that whole thing made me feel uncomfortable. Anyway, then we have too many options. We have this huge fucking stack of cards. That's it. Like the matching engine says, look at this one next. Look at this one next. Look at this one next. Okay, so keep swiping. Like, how do I know? Like even like at the very basic level, how do you know this person? Like, even if you look at the profile, you still get nothing. I need to add that to like my list because I think that's a huge one. It's not on the list. Failed matches, too much time. I guess it's too much time. I think too much time is more. It's a better analogy. So you get like guys have a stack of cards and like. There's a like almost infinite stack of cards, and if we want to like easily see like something we're interested, like we can't filter down to like even like basics of how many interests we share, what kind of values do we share, you can't even filter down to like maybe a height preference. Maybe I want a woman that's like equals or below my height, because that's my dream woman. I just kind of like the idea of that. It's my preference. It's not saying that I'm locked into this preference too. I was just like, when I envision girlfriend, I envision shorter than me. And that's what's in your head when you envision what you're trying to find, right? Try to find that. Like that is your dream person. Try to shove all the information into a computer that says, oh, this person kind of matches that description. Then you're like, holy shit, magic. Magic just happened. Harry, there's magic in this phone. I don't know where that came from, but Harry, there's magic in my phone. Get it out, won't you? Ha! It's amazing what we can do with science. Dating science. AJ guy, the dating science guy. Go, 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 go. AJ is the dating science guy. All right, yeah, so we're doing things. We're trying to do science. So I need to write that down of... No, I didn't. Too much time. Too much time. You see 3 prompts. They usually aren't very good. Sometimes they're really unique and you kind of really get a sense of the person. Like those are like the rare ones, but when you come across them, you're kind of you get the little happiness inside you. It's like, ooh, this is a nice one. Ooh, I like this person. Like they have a lot of character going on in this profile. It's like there's some kind of marketing genius. It's like taking they have some extracurricular of doing the Instagram pictures, and they're they know how to do their makeup, and they know how to do all their hair, and buys all their clothes for fashion. They got it down packed, and on top of that, they got a nice fun personality too. They do a lot of fun things. They're really charismatic. It's just one of those people, like, it's so fun to find those people. But then they never like me. It's a fleeting moment. So yeah, takes too much time. Like, even if like you wanted like we get 100 matches a day. Say each one you take a minute. You're already looking at 140, like an hour 40. 60 plus 40 is hundreds, yeah. So if you look at everyone for a minute, you'd already be looking at an hour and 40 minutes. Like almost 2 hours, 2 hours of your life to go through 100 matches. All right, so we get 100 matches. Like, realistically, we shouldn't be using 100 matches a day. So, but why do we? Why do we go through 100 matches? Why? We have this huge stack of cards that we have to sift through. And on top of that, we're at the mercy of the matching algorithm. That is completely cards against us. And they're like always like shining like the really popular profiles. So those full profiles are getting like 300 likes a day. But then we're just shoved into the random pool. Like, how many times on like Reddit would you go to like a random site and like find exactly what you're looking for? You just don't. The answer is you don't. Just like then you're just sorting through all these cards that like don't like meet like some criteria, like even like trying to filter, but ignoring the filtering right now. So right now, like we don't have filtering. We don't have filtering. So we go to this profile and then we kind of go, all right, so she's cute. They kind of like match these things. I'm pretty open to these things. And then, all right, I'm going to match. Like, I really don't have a good sense of the person to dig in deeper. So I'm kind of like really quickly skimming by of, does she have like a nice personality? Do they meet like some criteria based on like these built-in like information fields, like their height or religion or vice or whatever? And then trying to maybe like determine based on like their sometimes music and sometimes music, sometimes pictures, sometimes what was it? The interests? Oh, Instagram. And the music and Instagram pictures. But you can't really get a huge sense of the person. It's pretty rare to find someone with an Instagram reel. Not super rare, but it doesn't happen too often. Like even like the Spotify thing doesn't happen too often. But I really like the Spotify feature. I really think you can't have a music like category inside the personalization engine due to there being so many different kinds of music and being so many different good artists within that genre. That you actually then on top of that, the ones you listen to actively. You can like a genre, but it doesn't mean you listen to it actively. It also doesn't like when you say rock's important to you, like you only mean like this rock, or like this band, or like this artist. Like you're more attached to the artist than the genre. And that's it with like a lot of music. That's why I can't pick like a single category of music that I like really like the most music that I like. I only think of artists when I think of my like maybe even my like favorite song right now. Like it's based on like song or artist right now. It's not based on genre. So having that would defeat the purpose. But some dating apps still have that as like an interest. You can label, hey, I like rock. That's so it's something, but I think we can do better. Or like not offer the option if you only have 5 options to choose from, because I think that's the more of the weaker side of things. Anyway, we don't have any filters. We have 0 filters. We have 0 insight into who you are. We can't spend much time in the profile since on top of that, our success chance is so fucking low because the other person can't tell who we are either. They just don't have a good feeling, and like they need a good feeling in order to swipe. Like the only good feeling that people can usually get is like by a really good profile, by a really good picture, or just something that they super have in common with that is listed on both profiles. Or the other guy has like charisma. He has the Riz, or they have the Riz. Nonetheless, like you need to meet one of those requirements right now. If you don't, then your chances just got like from worse to really bad. So then you're here. Then we have this method of, let's just go through his, like, it's all about the numbers, baby. It's like, okay. But then like you hit that number, like, then you actually match with someone. Then how can you be super invested in something you like quickly skimmed over? Like, sure, I mean, yeah, you probably like him on some level, but like how deep does that stop for you? Like what things can you get over at that point? Because everyone, like in today's society, we have so much more range and so many more things to care about that sometimes we're not going to be aligned on important things. And that's okay. But we want to find like who matches us right now, not who has potential. Can never match on potential because everyone has potential. Everyone's constantly changing. Everyone has the ability to change. The world is in chaos. We're just trying to maintain control. And that's why we need a foundation to stand on. And our foundation is what we believe is real. What is our reality? And we shape it ourselves. We think of it ourselves and we live in it. And we can also change our reality. But it requires change. And I want this to be a good change. Let us connect easier in this chaotic world we live in. Because I know you're on this planet somewhere, baby, and I'm finding you. I'll find you. Anyway, failed matches. So, I mean, hey, failed match is like a failed match. Like it's a constant thing, right? Like you get like 20, like women get like 50 different likes or 100 different likes or how many different likes they get. And then like the one you pick is a failed match because you get so many guys that are just constantly swiping or trying to shoot their shot with as many people as they can. And then you find out later that you kind of don't match because all these reasons that maybe we could be tracking and kind of filtering out, like learning from that relationship, saying like, this is a thing that I don't want. At least let us know the person so we can filter it out. We already know that they're not my person because I already tried this. And I want to try different things. And like when you actually put in the effort to know like what works for you and what doesn't, you can just say like, yes, this is the person for me. Like this is exactly who I've been looking for. And if it's not, then you can just make the adjustments to find who you're looking for. We need the dials. We need to play. Humans love dials. Monkeys love dials. They're so satisfying to play with and adjust. Like if we're experimenting, we need values to change. And I want to give people the system to do that. But then later, I'm sure this is going to be a thing, like, on top of all the good features that it comes with, there's going to be some people that try to abuse it, or just don't follow the right rules that the system requires. It requires trust. It requires, like, you're putting a lot of information out there. And people can't misuse that, and we just need a way to be able to, like, give a good warning about who this person is. Like, is it a new account? Like, warning people giving people as much safety as we can. Then, like, taking reporting seriously. Like, once you report someone, it should be an immediate offense for, like, some serious things. And then, like, we have the ability to kind of enforce that. We can, like, ask for permission to view the chat logs from one side, and then we get into the chat logs to see, like, they actually said these things, and, Like before, they already agreed in our terms and conditions, as well as possibly the person's like chat interaction like rules, which I want to implement later, to be able to specify like how you want to be interacted with online if that's an issue. If I don't know, it helps maybe. That's probably doesn't like that feature probably wouldn't even matter if everyone just used it, right? Or I don't know. I'm thinking about different ways that users can have control over their dating life. Like, how much control do you need? Do you need a barrier before someone talks to you that you need to specify your boundaries? Or, I don't know. Anyway, some accountability for the entire system, and then reporting and investigation process, and then reporting is taken seriously, so like serious offenses get instantly like locked out. And I figured out a whole process behind that and how I want to see that happen. Like everyone gets a chance to appeal their thing, and everyone gets to see like high priority tickets get put into like a queue to be looked at, and everyone has the ability to see where the investigation progress is at, what number in the queue you are, what priority you have. If you want to add anything additional later on in the ticket, then you can go in and view that list of active reports and then add to it, add attachments, add a picture, give your side of the story, give both sides of the story. Like I really want this to be like a platform where you can trust the moderation of it. Like everyone's doing the best they can to like take care of the situation. If something is like, I know we're gonna run into like situations where something's not clear because they did it off the app. We don't have evidence of it, but it's nice to like, if they did it, I think we have to like go deeper into the reporting system too. I'm still trying to code it. Go deeper into the reporting system and like have them specify if it's like an immediate thing, like if it should be like a high priority one or a low priority one, because there could be a situation where they did this but without supporting evidence. And that would just get marked down as like a tick on their account to say someone actually reported against this. There's no evidence, but it's there, kind of just really like the police, like what police would do. As long as there's like a report on it, and then you can use that report to track what's going on. The police already thought of this. When you want to go for like policing, you want to go to like what systems have humans already invented for policing? We have police everywhere. What kind of thing works for policing? Although, can it be improved? I don't know. Anyway, that's the whole thing on the dating app. I'm gonna go eat some chips and cheese. So, later.